How to Train Your Dragon, live action movie. Why? That is all. Okay, obviously not. I'm going to ramble about it for a little bit longer. You know, I get it. If you love something, sometimes you might be excited at the opportunity to maybe remake it yourself. Sadly, I don't think that's the reason why people are doing these things though. Can you see money? That just looks like you're being a cricket. I get it. Technology and all that stuff has moved on and we can create dragons that look more realistic, and it might be cool to see dragons in a realistic setting. But then why not just make a different dragon movie? Why not make a dragon movie that's a new original story? Why remake one that was already perfect the way it was? The point of remaking something is if you have something to add to it. Now, I don't want to stay here and poop all over it because I have a feeling that everybody's going to poop all over it. Most of them because they're already so full of poop, they just need something to unload on. And that's already enough poop. And to be fair, how can you really judge something that you haven't actually seen? Well, we can, and we do. Now, despite what the zero face might tell you, I don't want to be negative for the sake of being negative. So let's start with something positive. I like that Toothless hasn't changed. His skin's looking a bit rough, you need to exfoliate. He looks like Toothless. And of course I mean movie Toothless and not book Toothless, who looks like this and is a little bitch. But generally speaking, they haven't changed the design at all. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I like it. But then I'm a weirdo who doesn't like change. I never used to be a fan of CG anything, but it has come a long way and this looks pretty fantastic. To my childish, wonder-filled eyes, Toothless is really there. Well, maybe not as good as Paddington. Well, you just squish that huggable squishy forever. There is one thing though. In the few brief shots we get in this teaser trailer, there's one glaring difference between movie Toothless and cartoon Toothless. He just isn't as emotive. There's not as much movement in his face, not as much character or life. And since they literally did a shot for shot of the iconic scenes, it makes it very easy to see. Oh, I'm missing something. My Toothless Tootie! And yes, I did say Toothless Tootie on porpoise. That's my Toothless over there. She is decidedly not toothless. She is a bitey girl. Hi baby, is there space for your paws over there now? Oh, there's no space up there. Oh no. How do you walk? I'll have to move the nadder. Oh, there you go, nadder can sit there. And then you can put your paws up there. And you can go and continue making my curtains dirty. She's one of the dragons now. Yes, one of them is an ender dragon, but you can't invite all the dragons through to make a video and not include him. That's just not fair. He's a dragon too. Where were we before cat eruption? Positive things. Jared Butler's back. That's good. Question mark? Of course I love Jared Butler as Stoic the Vast. And when you have someone that plays a character that well, it feels like nobody else could do the job. Nolan North came close in the TV series, but there were a couple of lines that were a little painful to my tartan eardrums.
Try telling that to our parents.
But the problem with the Stoic on screen is that he seems somewhat diminished. Stoic the Vast is what, 7 feet tall and 5 feet wide? And Jared Butler is no small boy, let's be sure. Let's be sure, let's be fair. One of those words. But it just isn't... It just doesn't have the same grandness, the same presence. I feel there must have been ways they could have framed him, angles they could have shot him from, tricks of the trade they could have used to make him really fill up the screen and seem, well, vast. And he doesn't. And it's sad. Also, what is with this line delivery?
But you will.
Hesitant, questioning. Okay, it's not as bad as...
Yes.
But it's still not very stoic. Okay, that was supposed to be a compliment, but it kind of turned on me. What else nice? Mason Thames's Hiccup isn't a horrendous choice. See what I did there? There are times when he even sounds a bit like Jay Baruchel. Though if they're going to get someone that kind of sounds like him, why not just get GB back for the role? Okay, yes, he's in his 40s now, but he still has a fairly youthful look. And since when has being too old for the role ever stopped them casting the actor they want? The one I'm having a bit of a problem with at the moment are Rough Nut and Tough Nut, because they're supposed to be identical twins, and they've picked actors that are not identical. Twins are supposed to look like twins. Well, no, twins don't always have to look like twins, I suppose, but there's the point that they are twins, and they ride the twin-headed dragon. That was my impression of a twin-headed dragon, in case you don't know. What's the two-headed dragon called? No, what is the two-headed dragon called? A hideous zippleback. I think that is a bit of a mean name. I think you're right. Okay, I'm keeping that bit in the video then, because that's funny. But those berries! So, yes, they're supposed to be twins, they're supposed to be 15, they don't look alike, and they're both 30. Since we're already talking about the cast, let's just continue. We have Julian Dennison as Fishlegs, Gabriel Howell as Snotlout, Nick Frost as Gobber the Belch. Now, I like Nick Frost, I really do. But I loved Craig Ferguson's portrayal of Gobber so much, I'm really going to have to cleanse my brain and go in fresh, with no expectations. I'm also sad that we're losing the Scottish accent. It's nice hearing proper Scottish accents in films. Presuming Frost uses his own accent, of course. He is an actor. He may surprise me. Peter Serafinowicz is also slated to be in this film, though as who we don't know. I like that, because he not only has a great name, he is a great actor. One gripe. I have not seen any mention of David Tennant anywhere, and I am all the disappointed. If you don't know, Tennant narrated all the How to Train Your Dragon audiobooks, and was fantastic doing it. He also plays Spikelout in the Dragon TV shows, and if you listen really carefully, you can hear him in the background of certain scenes in the first movie.
Get inside! I refuse to it!
Maybe they're keeping him a secret for fans. Maybe schedules clashed. Maybe he didn't want to do it. Maybe they didn't think about it. But if he's not there at all, I may sulk a little. Alright, I've been putting it off, but there's no avoiding it now. We have to address the Redditor in the room. You might have noticed there's one character I haven't mentioned yet, and that is Astrid. The reason being is that she will need a whole section to herself, because guaranteed this poor actress is going to get dragged through the mills before she's even had a chance to prove her worth on film. Why? Because she isn't blonde-haired, blue-eyed and Scandinavian. And of course we're going to get the blah 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 moany people who go, that doesn't look like my Astrid. And you'll have the arguments of, but that's not what Astrid looks like. You can see her in the cartoon. I feel like I'm doing an impression of Astrid doing an impression of Hiccup right now.
Ah, thanks, Dad. I'm pretty impressed with myself too.
That's not what she looks like in the film, so why is she looking like this in the remake? I don't know. Maybe the actor was really, really good? Because that's really how actors should be chosen for the role. It doesn't matter if they necessarily look like the character, if they don't feel like the character. And that's what I have to wonder. If there was another actress auditioned for the role who looked like Astrid, but didn't feel like Astrid, would you be happier with that casting choice? I wouldn't. You can already hear the keyboards clacking out the words, I'm not racist, but... And there'll be cries of, Vikings are Scandinavian, where would they get this diversity in their community? Well, it's a movie about dragons. Can we suspend our disbelief just a little bit? And it's an alternate universe Viking world. Who knows? They're Vikings. They travel. They go on boats. They go on boats to other countries. They do all the naughty things that they do when they're over there because they're Vikings. They may take people back with them. Hopefully all of it consensual. I mean, if we're going to talk about being real, it was never real in the first place. All the adults were Scottish and all the kids were American. What's with that? And something between the live action movies and the cartoons that I find lacks the most is colour. The colours don't pop. I guess they're going for realism, but I don't want realism in my dragon movie. It seems to be the theme with these live action remakes of animations that they just take all the colour out of everything. Because apparently there's no such thing as a real blue sky. Looking at you, Lion King. The colours are just... blech. I mean, alright, the book series was written by a British writer and all the adults seem to be Scottish on this little island of Berk. Which, by the way, is a very English word for someone who is a big old idiot doodoo head. Does that mean we really have to recreate British weather? Look at that sky. I see enough skies like that. I want beautiful blue. Thank you. The animation intro does start with,
It snows 9 months of the year and hails the other 3.
Which is very British of it. But the animation never reflects that even when the weather's bad. It always looks bright and lush and beautiful. Which is how I say that word so I don't forget how to spell it. Now compare it to this. Dark, gloomy, overcast, blech. And if that wasn't bad enough, it continues over into the tone of the trailer. It just comes across very serious and deep and dark and brooding. Where's the whimsy? Where's the joy? The animation was able to depict peril and dilemma and emotion and still retain the whimsy. This trailer worries me. If being realistic means making things more miserable, then that gets a resounding no thanks from me. I'll stick with my own dreary reality, thanks. Okay, I think I have officially talked myself out. But after watching the trailer yesterday, me and my boy went and watched the original movie as a sort of palate cleanser. And even after all these years, even after seeing it thousands of times, it's still magical. It's still amazing. You know, you find yourself watching every little bit of animation, every mannerism, every little facial twitch. You're blown away by all the detail, all the freckles on the faces and the little scars and the little everythings. It's so expressive, it's so, well, animated, I suppose. I don't really think I have anything interesting to say about this. I just wanted to say that there is a movie, a live action movie, and I don't see the point in it, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt until I have actually seen it. But I'm not paying money to go and see it in the cinema. Bye! Leia is in my wardrobe. No pooping!